Right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're tackling something that keeps a lot of parents up at night. Literally, we're decoding the deep biological necessity of childhood sleep. Whether you're rocking a newborn or trying to drag a teenager out of bed, we're going to look closely at the science of what their developing brains and bodies actually need and, crucially, how we can help them get it.
So, you know how we usually assume a tired kid is going to look, well, sleepy? Rubbing their eyes, yawning, slowing down? Well, it turns out the reality of sleep deprivation in early childhood is a whole different ballgame. And honestly, it's often a pretty chaotic one.
There's actually this huge, stark contrast between adults and kids here. When we get tired, we get sluggish and apathetic, right? But young children, they do the exact opposite. They actually become hyperactive. Their tolerance thresholds just plummet, and they suddenly develop behavioral problems. So if your preschooler is literally bouncing off the walls and acting super irritable, they might not just be acting out. They might actually be desperately crying out for sleep.
And look, this is absolutely not just a toddler issue. Just look at this number, 68%. The data shows that a staggering 68% of US high school students are getting 7 hours or less of sleep on school nights. We are looking at a massive, widespread childhood sleep crisis, and it spans all the way from the crib right through to high school graduation.
To help us navigate all of this, our explainer is going to cover 4 main things. First, why sleep matters most. Second, sleep needs by age. Third, the screen time culprit. And finally, some practical tips for better sleep.
All right, let's start with section 1, why sleep matters most.
The really crucial thing here is understanding the why before we get into the what. Sleep isn't just some pause button for the body. Just 2 nights of partial sleep deprivation, like just missing a couple hours a night, measurably changes a child's glucose metabolism. It does this by bumping up ghrelin, which is the appetite hormone, and dropping leptin, the satiety hormone. This hormonal shift literally drives kids to crave carbs and significantly increases the risk of childhood obesity. So yeah, lack of sleep literally alters their appetite.
And the biological stakes, they're just massive across the board. Chronic lack of sleep messes with everything from a toddler's executive function and emotional regulation, all the way to altering the very foundations of their language development between 6 and 18 months. And for older kids and teenagers, the risks really escalate into severe mental health impacts. We're talking higher cortisol levels, depression, and even an increased risk of self-harm. It is incredibly serious.
Moving right along to section 2, sleep needs by age.
So let's map out exactly how many hours your kid biologically requires to avoid all those negative outcomes. Sleep needs rapidly drop from the massive 14 to 17 hours that newborns need, eventually settling into a lower, more stable baseline by young adulthood. It's a really steep, critical curve during those early years. And according to the experts at the American Academy of Sleep Medicine and the AAP, hitting these exact recommended hours regularly is what ensures optimal attention, learning, and physical health for your child's specific stage. Infants between 4 and 12 months need 12 to 16 hours. Toddlers from 1 to 2 need 11 to 14 hours. Preschoolers from 3 to 5 need 10 to 13 hours. School-age kids, 6 to 12, should get 9 to 12 hours. And teenagers, 13 to 18, still require a solid 8 to 10 hours of sleep for 24 hours. Notice how even teens still need a really robust amount of rest. Now keep in mind, for those youngest age brackets, naps are an absolute non-negotiable necessity for memory transfer. Why? Because their nighttime sleep is just way too far removed from what they learned that morning. Without a daytime nap to lock in those memories, the new information your toddler learned earlier in the day, it's literally just lost, gone.
All right, on to section 3, the screen time culprit. We really have to talk about the digital disruptions that are totally sabotaging these ideal sleep hours. Telling a kid to just go to sleep right after they've been playing video games, it just doesn't work biologically. First off, all that action-packed content spikes their heart rate and alertness. On top of that, the blue light from the screen actively tricks the brain into shutting down melatonin production. The result? The brain intensely struggles to calm down, which can delay sleep by hours. It's a total double whammy.
Which brings us to our final part.
Section 4, tips for better sleep.
Let's dive into some healthy habits and how we can practically cure these bedtime woes using AAP-approved sleep hygiene tips. Creating a predictable environment is absolutely key here. Simple, screen-free environmental cues, things like a warm bath, reading a book together, or maybe a warm milky drink. These help successfully transition your child's brain from high alert play mode into a calm, restful state.
Setting up a really solid bedtime routine and establishing firm rules is a proven strategy to prevent sleep fragmentation. So, here's the game plan. 1. Turn off all screens at least 1 hour before bed. 2. Engage in a relaxing family activity or some reading instead. 3. Keep phones and digital media completely out of the bedroom overnight. And 4. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule. Yes, even when the weekend rolls around.
And on that last point, the American Academy of Pediatrics says the quality and consistency of an adolescent's sleep is just as important as the amount. Enforcing that consistent weekend schedule, waking up and going to sleep at the exact same times, is just as vital as hitting the total hour count for the week. You simply can't just binge sleep on Saturday to make up for a sleep-deprived week. It just doesn't work that way. So as you look at your family's evening routine tonight, I want to leave you with this question. What is one screen, just one, that you can turn off an hour before bed to help secure your child's cognitive and physical health? Try starting with just that one screen and see the difference it makes. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, here's to a much better night's rest for your whole family.